Hello everyone and welcome back to LewisFiction and welcome back to Spectacular Spider-Man Season 5. This is Episode 3. If you have not seen Season 4 or Season 3 or any of the stuff relating to Spectacular Spider-Man on the channel before, then this will make no sense to you, so make sure you go back and watch that first. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into this. Episode 3, Hidden in Plain Sight. We start the episode with MJ and Anna Watson. MJ looks down and Anna asks what is wrong. Not being able to explain the full situation to her, she just explains that Peter has other commitments and it gets her down sometimes, that he can't come and see her more often. It's like she puts too much effort into their relationship, and she knows Peter is trying to put it back, but he can't. The weight of Spider-Man is really getting to her after admitting her love for him, and it's all boiling over. We then cut to Peter, who the next day is going back out to search for a job at ESU. Peter texts MJ asking if she's okay, and he doesn't get a response. He thinks that's weird, but goes about his day anyway. He enters the lab, and everything is different. The last time he was here, Dr. Connors was in charge. However, all the tech, all the equipment, it had been upgraded to the highest level. Peter snoops around slightly, as it piques his interest. He notices the Oscorp logo on one of the microscopes. He pulls himself back slightly, as he's taken back by how Professor Warren got his hands on all the top-of-the-range Oscorp tech. And with that, Warren walks in from behind. He asks what Peter is doing here, as Peter says he apologizes for walking in unannounced. Warren tells him not to apologize. He assumes he's here on good merit. Peter obliges, saying he was looking for a job. He explains the situation, that he thinks it would be good for his chances of getting into college. Warren looks at him with a raised eyebrow and says that his smarts are desired by any high-end college across the country, probably even across the world. There's another reason he needs a job. Warren steps closer to Peter. Peter gulps. Warren displays his intelligence, not only in the lab, but with people. Peter looks down, and then back up to Warren. He says his aunt is struggling for money, and he kinda needs a job to help. As Warren turns around to face the lab again, Peter panickingly goes on to explain his situation more, saying that he came to the place that he believed where his passion lies. He believes he could do a good job. He did under Dr. Connors, and he believes he can do now. Warren will turn back around to face Peter, and will nod in agreement. Peter is confused. No interview, no nothing. Warren will tell Peter that he's exceptional. And like he said before, him and Miss Stacy were some of the brightest minds to ever step through that door when Dr. Connors ran the lab at ESU. So yes, he will let him work here. Warren will go on to explain to Peter that his main passion overall is science. He wants others to explore and to love science as much as he does. We will get a scene where this is shown through how engrossed Peter and Warren become in a conversation about what Warren specializes in. They get talking, and Peter learns as well as the audience that Warren does genetic testing to determine whether human organs can be cloned to replace degrading ones. Not only this, Warren reveals that cloning an entire human, if it ever becomes possible, could be the answer to humans that live for eternity. Cloning the perfect genes with no genetic defects would mean a human race with no disease, no cancer, no nothing. Peter is impressed and on board with his research. Peter's phone buzzes, however. It's Mary Jane. Peter says he has to go now, but it's been great talking to him. Warren smiles. As he says he starts next week, he'll send over the details. Peter thanks Warren as he leaves. The scene stays with Warren for a second. The scene settles, as it's kind of eerie. There's no music, no sound, but a still image of Warren, all alone. We haven't heard about any family other than his brother. We haven't heard of any relationships, any kids, anything other than his work. This final shot of the scene is to represent how alone Warren feels. His work is his life, and he'll be surrounded by it. We cut to Peter texting MJ back. MJ asks if they have time to spend with one another tonight. She's begun to miss him, and that holiday that they had in California was the most normal she has ever felt with him. Peter says that they should hang out that evening. Since it's a Sunday, they're not in school, so it's perfect. Peter says that he'll be over later, when police cars start to rush past Peter on the street. Peter thinks that it won't be anything big, and that he can be done in a heartbeat. He'll still be able to see MJ later. Peter suits up and webs after them. As he's swinging, he feels a tingling sensation in his side. He doesn't know why, but his torso on both sides starts to hurt. He just plays it off as lasting pain, all the battles that Spider-Man has done to him over these years. As he arrives on the scene, it's ESU, and it's on fire. The living vampire is back, and it's attacking Miles Warren. It's attacking the professor, and Peter doesn't even know why. Warren uses a taser gun to stun it in its path, allowing the police to arrive on the scene. However, the taser doesn't hold him down long, as the vampire lashes out again. However, Spider-Man arrives, and at the last second kicking the vampire down. The fight rages on, as Spider-Man is determined to beat the vampire this time. He won't let him get away. Warren even helps Spidey, working with him. Eventually, the vampire is down and taken out. Peter, confused as everyone else, is trying to work out why the vampire went after Warren. The vampire is taken into custody by the police as they leave the scene. Spider-Man sticks around for a while as Warren places his face in his palm, realizing that the lab, his work, is all gone. Spider-Man empathizes with him, whilst also thinking about his chances at a job. Spider-Man says it'll be fine, at least just safe. Warren will tell Spider-Man that he's going to have to break the bad news to Peter, his new employee, in which Spider-Man leaves swiftly. We cut to Peter on a building, as Warren calls him to tell him the news, when he is abruptly cut off. Peter thinks, this is strange. He cut the call so weirdly and so early. We then cut back to Warren, who stands opposite a man who walks into the front entrance as he places the phone down. The man says the experiment wasn't a success, and Warren's face will turn to anger, saying that he's not doing this again. It's too dangerous, and now he's lost everything. His life was his work, and it's gone. The man says he provides his equipment. He can get replacements as long as he makes progress. Warren refuses still. He goes on to say that he will not continue doing this. It's dangerous, and it's going to get them both in trouble. The man clenches his fist. Warren demands to know what could possibly drive him to do it. He will tell the man that he cannot be threatened. He has no family, no lab, no nothing. And he can't even kill him because the man won't get what he wants. As we pan up, we reveal that the man is none other than Norman Osborn. He smirks and says you have a brother. He used to teach his son. Miles, under his breath, will say that he has a brother by blood, not by heart. Representing Miles' closed off and unempathetic nature, Norman says so be it. He will die. As Norman walks off into the distance, Warren shouts. Norman swiftly turns around, and Warren says fine. He will carry on his work, but he needs his equipment back. Norman says he can sort that out, as he smirks and walks off into the distance. We end the scene as we pan over to a piece of paper disclosing a document about a man called Michael Morbius, a volunteer test subject whose DNA was taken to try and create the perfect clone. And with the Osborn and Warren mystery left open, we cut back to our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, who is getting ready to meet Mary Jane Watson. Peter texts MJ saying he'll be there soon, when the pain in his side starts to get worse, until, in his room just before he was about to leave, 4 human arms protrude from his sides. Peter screams out as we end the episode there. Thank you for watching episode 3 of Spectacular Spider-Man Season 5. A little bit of a shorter one this episode, but it was a lot of setting up for the rest of the season. A lot of introducing us to themes, characters' backstories, and characters themselves. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like on it and also make sure to subscribe. And don't miss the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, and peace.